But I just wanted to jump on here real quick and really help you out on something. And the biggest thing is you getting respect and positive behavior from your woman when you're in a relationship, right? Now, there's so many guys that talk to me about how their woman disrespects them, how they withhold sex from them, how they just don't desire them anymore. There's just a lot of negativity that comes with women, them running their mouth, getting mad, arguing, yelling, all this stuff. Excuse me, all this stuff, right? And my thing is the reason why a woman has that behavior is because she is pretty much going after what you are doing. So if your behavior is negative or your behavior isn't what she wants, then obviously she's going to behave a certain way that you don't want, if that makes sense. Now, what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is, say, for instance, she's yelling at you, she's arguing with you, she's just testing you, all these different things she's doing to you, right? She's trying to figure out, are you actually going to say something about it? Are you going to be a man? Are you going to put her in her place? What are you going to do? Because that's one thing. One thing is she's trying to figure out what exactly you're going to do. And the other thing is she's trying to test you and see exactly, are you going to get emotional? Are you going to be aggressive? Are you going to be assertive? Are you going to react? Are you going to respond? It's all these little things that are just going on all in that moment that you don't realize. She realizes it mentally and emotionally, biologically, that's what a lot of women do. But where you mess up is when a woman does anything that is disrespectful to you, or a woman does anything that you know that she's trying to take you out of you being logical and making you more emotional and react a certain way. Whenever a woman's doing that, that's a huge red flag because that's her trying to control you. At the end of the day, if a woman is trying to get a reaction out of you and take you from being logical to being emotional, she's trying to control you. She's trying to control you. And a lot of guys, you mess up because you become reactive. You get mad. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying not to be upset, not to be mad, to tell her what you think and how you feel about the situation. But when you start to react instead of respond, when you start to get emotional instead of logical, whenever you do these things that are outside of being a man, that's when a woman notices she has you. She was able to move you mentally and emotionally. And that turns her off. If she's able to move you mentally and emotionally, that will turn a woman off because she's thinking in her mind, he's acting just like me, or is he acting just like a child? And a child, what does a child do? A child responds. Well, they don't even respond. They get emotional. They get very loud. They get anxious. They get obnoxious. And if you're doing the same thing, she can only put you in the category of a kid or a woman. And if it's a woman that wants a real man, guess what? If you're acting like a woman, it's going to turn her off. If you're acting like a kid, it's going to turn her off. But she's also going to feel like she has to be your mother. How many of you guys have wives or girlfriends and they don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that. They got to keep reminding you. They got to talk to you and you feel like, why is she talking to me like I'm her kid? That's the reason why. Or you may have a woman that's highly disrespectful calling you out of your name and you're trying to figure out why she's doing that. That's because she views you as a woman. She views you as just like her. If you ever see those TV shows where women get into it with each other, what do? They call each other's names, they pull the hair, they throw the drinks. All this craziness goes on. It doesn't matter what race it is, what ethnicity, but that's what those women do. You know what I'm talking about. Now, when you want to really have more control over your situation and your woman, you have to start by having control over yourself. You have to have control over what you think, what you feel and what you do. Because here's the thing you have to understand: your actions, however you act or however you behave, there was a root cause to that. It's a cause and effect. So if a woman sees that you start to react, you start to do these things that are outlandish, do these things that are very emotional, for her, she knows that where did that come from? That came from a seed that was a thought. Maybe you don't think that you're worthy of her respecting you. Maybe you don't think that you're worthy of her time. Maybe you think that, she's higher than you. And when you act like that, that all that does is that tells her what you are, who you are, and she can figure you out. And once you understand that and you change the things that you think about, you change your standards, you change your beliefs, that is when you will get a different response from your woman. Instead of her reacting, going crazy and shit, you'll get a different response from her. Where a lot of guys mess up, and this is mostly the guys that I talk to, that I coach, that are my clients, a lot of them, where they really mess up is they mess up by rewarding bad behavior. And what I mean by rewarding bad behavior is whenever the woman does something negative, when she yells, when she withholds sex, whatever she does that's negative, they reward bad behavior. And what does that look like? It looks like this. It looks like the woman and the man get into an argument, right? It's just a simple argument. They have a disagreement. And the woman takes it a little bit too far. Maybe she throws the clothes away. Maybe she damages property. Maybe she, it's extreme, but I'm just using an example. Maybe there's different things that she does that are very negative and destructive, right? Now, everybody's in the heat of the moment. Everybody's upset. Everybody's just going through it. But what happens when everything calms down? Depending on the woman, sometimes she may apologize. Sometimes she may say, hey, I shouldn't have did that. I should have this, we should have talked about it. I apologize, whatever. Some women, not all, but some women will do that. And then these men, they feel like, man, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want her so upset. And what do? They end up rewarding her, taking her to dinner, buying things for her, taking care of things that are financial that is not his responsibility, but things that are her responsibility, but he takes on that responsibility because he doesn't want, in his mind, he feels that he was in the wrong. So since he was in the wrong in his mind, then now guess what? He's going to do things that make her think and make her feel and believe that, hey, whenever we get into an argument, whether it's my fault, he still does things for me. He still buys things for me. He still spends money on me. And so what you have to understand is when you do that, all you're doing is teaching her and training her, no matter the situation, if we ever get into an argument or disagreement and it goes left field and it gets really bad, he's always going to apologize. He's always going to buy me something. He's always going to cater to me. So why would I stop arguing with him? Why would I stop testing him? Those are things that she thinks. Sometimes it's not even conscious. Sometimes it's subconscious because if you're doing something over and over, you don't have to think about it consciously because you're so well at doing it, it just goes to the subconscious mind. And what I mean subconscious mind, that's your habits and behaviors that you don't have to consciously think about doing. Yeah, if you put your shoes on, you have to think, okay, I need to tie my shoes, but you don't have to consciously think about how exactly to tie your shoes because you've been doing it over and over and over ever since you were a little boy. So for her, every time you reward her bad behavior, it's the same thing. It goes to her subconscious mind. Her conscious mind is, hey, I want to test this guy. I want to start an argument, whatever it is, right? Subconsciously, there's a reward from her doing it. Now, the other thing is, say for instance, things are going good. So just hypothetically, things are going good. You get counseling, you get therapy, whatever. And you're like, okay, she's starting to come around. She's starting to treat me better. What happens though is subconsciously, her subconscious mind is saying, wait, this is cool and all, but we're used to getting rewards whenever there is an argument, a disagreement, or I test him. So guess what? Unconsciously, she will begin to do the same thing over and over because that is what she's used to. That is what she's used to, and it's even worse when you get with a woman that she's had a man that has been that way before. So if it's already programmed before she met you in her subconscious mind, she meets you, and now guess what? Now you do the same thing that her ex did. You get into an argument, you apologize, you buy her stuff. Guess what? Now it reaffirms that this is how she should behave and react because she always gets something out of it. You have to understand that. But to change all that, guess what you have to do? You have to do the complete opposite. You have to do the complete opposite. If your woman is disrespecting you and she's doing things that are out of line, you have to check it. Number one, you have to tell her, like, hey, I don't appreciate you doing that. Please don't do that again. Because you already gave her a warning. Because some of you guys, you get into a relationship and you don't even let her know what your boundaries and your standards are. You don't let her know what you don't want her to do and what you don't mind her doing. And when you don't let her know anything, you can't get mad if she tries to test you. Because guess what? The thing is, she can only go off of what you told her and also your behaviors and your habits. So if you're not letting her know what it is, she has to make up in her mind what it is based on her past relationship and based on what she thinks it should be. But it shouldn't be like that at all. You have to understand that. But what you have to do is you have to tell her. If you don't like something she's doing, you have to tell her. You have to nip it in the bud and let her know that you don't appreciate what she's doing. You don't like what she's doing. And you have to nip it in the bud. But the other thing is, don't just tell her what you don't like and then do not follow through on the repercussions. You have to let her know, like, hey, I don't like that. If you do it again, you know, maybe we can't take this a step further. Or whatever it is, whatever you do, you have to let her know not to do that. And if she does it again, then there's obviously going to be repercussions and consequences. You have to let her know that. But you also have to stand on it. And the way you stand on it is by what? Your actions. Your actions. You can't say one thing and then after that one thing is over with, then you don't follow through with actions. You have to follow through with actions. Because if you don't follow through with actions, she's going to take you as somebody that's just bullshitting. And if you're just bullshitting, guess what? She's not going to take you seriously. She's always going to disrespect you. So that's the biggest thing. You have to stop rewarding bad behavior. You have to tell her what it is, and you have to follow through. You have to. Because here's the thing. Once you start following through on what you don't want your woman to do that's disrespectful, and there's a consequence, no matter, I don't care how you feel, you have to follow through on that because once you do that and you follow through, you're teaching her that, hey, I should not disrespect him. I shouldn't start things with him. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And once she gets that, this is the benefit of that. Once she understands that, this is a benefit for you too. If you like treating your woman, that's fine, but only if she is respecting you and she's showing you good behavior. Because when she's respecting you and showing you good behavior, guess what? You reward that. You take care of her. And what happens? You start to get more good behavior, better behavior. Now, you don't always have to always buy her something or do something for her every time that she does something good. I mean, that's fine. You can do that. But you have to understand there has to be some type of balance. You're not going to just, it almost, you almost started an argument, but it didn't get there. So I'm going to take you to Disney World, or I'm going to take you to Greece or London. No, 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 no. That's like things for like her birthday, Valentine's Day, if you celebrate that, Christmas, things like that. But the normal stuff that you do, where you go to dinner or you buy things, just, little stuff like that, save that and reserve that for when she actually does things that are good for you, things that benefit you. You know what I mean? You don't want a woman that is in your life and she's not adding any value, because that goes against manhood. Man, we do things in our life that benefits us and other people. So you want a woman that does things in her life that benefits her, obviously, but also benefits you. Because if she's not benefiting you and she's only bringing you trouble and drama and everything else, what benefit do you have? There is no benefit. There is no benefit to it. The other thing I want to tell you too is that the reason why I say you want to tell her what you don't want as far as bad behavior or negative behavior from her, and I mentioned this earlier because she doesn't know, so you can't get mad. The reason why you want to tell her the things that you don't want to tolerate and the things that you will not tolerate, and just your standards and what you want out of a woman, is because it's not only to prevent her from being negative and bringing you drama, but it's also to help her and teach her to be the woman that you want. I'm not trying to say change the woman. What I'm saying is, when you let her know what you like, what you don't like, she starts to understand you. She starts to get to know you. And the more she gets to know you, she may start doing things that are very thoughtful for you, because you're telling her, hey, I don't like this drama. I don't like this. I don't like that. And say, for instance, this is the hypothetical. Say, for instance, you go to, I don't know, you go to an outing somewhere, and she knows and she respects that you don't like drama, you don't like disrespect, you don't like anything that brings unease or takes away your peace of mind in your life. If she knows that, right, and you go to an outing and she can already see, like, hey, these people are being disrespectful, these people are this, these people are that, I'm not going to put my man in a situation where he's losing his peace of mind. She's going to look out for you, because she already knows, if she loves you, she cares about you, she respects you, she is never going to put you in a situation, not just with herself, but with other people. She's not going to put you in a situation where it threatens your livelihood, where it takes away your peace of mind, where it puts you in a position where you just, there's no benefit for you. She's not going to do that. What she's going to do is she's going to put you in positions that are benefits for you. Hey, I heard about this. I know you like this. This is coming up. Hey, I know that you enjoyed this movie. Did you know they have a sequel coming out? Those are the things that a woman that really, truly loves you, respects you, honors you, all that stuff, those are the things that she's going to do for you. Not just, being respectful to you, but she's going to actually add value to your life. But it all starts with you communicating and being direct and being firm on what you don't tolerate, what you will tolerate, what your expectations are with you, what you want in a woman, in your relationship. You have to communicate that. And for my guys that are dating, hey, this is a good time, because you have the opportunity and ability to nip it in the bud right now. It's very important. Don't wait for that shit to be later on, years later, and you're trying to fix everything, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be difficult, because it's like, hey, you didn't tell me that when we first started dating. You didn't tell me that when we first got in a relationship. Why are you telling me that now? It's going to be a little bit harder. But the other thing is, you want to nip it in the bud and do everything early, because when you're dating, what are you doing? Most of you're dating. You got the feel good. You just want sex. Maybe you want to spend some time with her. But the other things you're not even thinking about. You're not thinking about marriage. You're not thinking about real life shit. You're thinking about how can you have some enjoyment and time with this woman. And with her, it's pretty much the same thing. But what happens after things slow down? You got the sex. You got everything you wanted from her. But you're in a relationship now. The things that matter come up. If you don't address those in the beginning, guess what? It's not going to go the way you want it to go. And it's the same for her. So when you meet a woman, I know you want to have fun. I know you want to have sex and all that stuff. That's great. But you have to make a decision on, one, what do you want from this woman to begin with? But two, if you want this woman to be someone that you're with long term, you have to let her know everything that you expect in a relationship, what you expect from her. You have to let her know that beforehand, because when you let a woman know these things beforehand, then she can't make the excuse that she didn't know. But it also holds you accountable, because if you say what you want, don't want, but you don't follow through, then that's on you. You can't get mad at anybody but yourself. So that's the thing to it. You don't tell a woman what you expect and what you want and what you won't tolerate. You don't tell her that. She doesn't know. She'll make it up in her mind, and then you get upset because she's doing whatever, but you never told her. But the other thing, like I said, you have to let her know. You have to communicate, let her know, and tell her. But you also have the responsibility as a man of following through on that. That's very important. So the biggest takeaway I want you to get from this video is that when you're in a relationship and a woman is disrespecting you, she's not treating you like you want to be treated, she's not valuing you, she's bringing drama to you, she's withholding sex, don't reward bad behavior, because all you're doing is teaching her that, hey, it is okay. I can disrespect him. I can withhold the sex from him. He's not going to do anything. He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't mean it. But he also rewards me for it. That's what you're teaching her. That's what you're training her. So if you are watching this video right now and you know what I'm talking about, and you don't want the disrespect, you want things to be more smooth in your relationship, you want her to continue to give you sex, and you want her to desire you, and you want to have a great relationship, you have to be a man about it. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of people, especially men, don't understand is, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to dating, when it comes to all this, it has nothing to do with women. It has to do with you. It has to do with your inner game, yourself. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whatever you do in life, whatever woman you're with, you're always going to be left with you. And it's better to validate yourself, to know yourself, to strengthen yourself, to understand everything. You always want to be the man that follows through, that commits to what he says he's going to commit to, and just be a man, be a stand-up guy. You just have to be that regardless, because when you're truly a man and you're able to control your emotions instead of your emotions controlling you, when you're able to follow through on what you say you're going to follow through, when you're able to be disciplined, when you're able to live with a sense of purpose and not bullshit yourself and other people, that is part of being a man. And a woman respects that because it's and it's biological. That's why we're different. I'm not going to get into that topic, but you have to understand that being a man and manhood, all of those things, as long as you're a man and you practice being a man and you live as a man, it does not matter what woman you get with, because she's always going to conform to you. If she really respects you, she likes you, she loves you, she's going to conform to you as long as you're a man. But when you're not a man, that's when, like I said before, that's when you're reacting. That's when you're being emotional. That's when you're doing all these things that have no logical foundation. And she sees that. A woman is the most emotional creature in mankind. Between a man and woman, the woman is more emotional. So guess what? She's the master at that shit. So if you're being emotional and you're acting a certain way, guess what? She knows it. You can't outsmart. How can I put this? You her being emotional, a woman being emotional is her game. You can't outsmart and outdo a woman. You just can't. So even if you say, you know, you get into a situation where you say, "Hey, I don't want you doing that. It's disrespectful." And she does it again, but you fly off at the handle and you start doing things that are disrespectful to her, and you start acting out like a child, you start destroying things. Guess what? She knows he's being emotional. He's not using any logic because she understands the emotions. And the same thing, if you say, "Hey, you got two more times to do that. If you do that two more times, then this relationship, this marriage, whatever it is, we are done." If you tell her that and she does it two more times, but you don't do anything, guess what? One, you're proving that you're a liar, but two, the reason why you're not doing it is because of fear. And guess what? The fear is the greatest thing that will keep you from doing what you say you're going to do and what you're supposed to do. She's going to know that, hey, he's being controlled by fear. He's emotional. He's letting his emotions control him. That's what she thinks, man. She knows it. She knows it. And the other thing I was going to say is that I'm not saying that men don't have emotions. Men do. I mean, it's just we're all humans, but it's being able to control your emotions and not let your emotions control you. And here's the thing. I want you to really think about this. I don't know if you're religious or not, or if you believe in higher power or not. This is what I really want you to think about. As long as you put a woman above you, you are always putting a woman above God. Let me repeat that. Whenever you're putting a woman above you, you are always putting a woman above God. Okay? So, what that means is, I'm not saying put a woman below you or in the pits. What I'm saying is, you don't put a woman on a pedestal. If a woman goes against what you are, what you represent, what you say you won't tolerate, if she continues to do that and you keep rewarding that, guess what? You're by nature, you're saying that you put her above God. You're saying that you put her above God. If you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. But as a man, you have to understand that if you have certain standards, you have certain principles, you have certain rules, codes, if you have those things and that's who you are, no matter what, that's who you are. If a woman is able to get you to the point where you go against your own principles, standards, boundaries, codes, whatever, if a woman gets you to the point where you that, that's not being you, but that's also, it's almost like selling your soul to the devil just so you can have her around, just so you can feel good that she's in your life. If she's able to move you from who you are. You get what I'm saying? It's a little bit deeper than that, but I want you to really think about that. I want you to really think about that. We got about 6 more months left. And if you are still tolerating a woman's disrespect and bad behavior, but you're also rewarding it, you're putting her on a pedestal above you, what where are you going to be next year? Are you going to be doing the exact same thing that you're doing this year? You're not living as a man if you're doing that. I'm just telling you, man to man, if you are tolerating a woman disrespecting you and you're putting on her pedestal, you're buying gifts, you're apologizing, you're letting her run and ruin your life, you're not being a fucking man. And I told you, come to about the year is almost over, halfway there, right? So, what do you plan on doing from here on out? If your woman is disrespectful to you, if she's talking down to you, if she's making fun of you, if she's doing all these things that you know you don't want in a relationship, what are you doing? Are you rewarding the bad behavior, or are you nipping it in the bud and saying, hey, look, I don't want you doing that anymore. If you do it again, this relationship is over. Or if she does it again, I'm not, guess what? We usually go out to eat on Sundays, or we usually go out to eat on Fridays, or whatever your situation or your schedule is, but we're not doing that anymore. You're going to get your ass in the kitchen and cook. We both got to eat. You got to eat. I got to eat. You're being disrespectful. You're acting a certain way. I'm going to give you two more chances, but hey, this chance, hey, get in the kitchen and cook. And I'm not being respectful. I'm not being disrespectful to you guys. I'm just telling you that you have to set some type of standard, because women, you're not going to want to hear this, but women, since they're nurturers, right? More of a. All right, let's see. There's a lot of people in here. What's up? What's up? Some of these people have no idea. But speaking of facts, yeah, man. I mean, when you make content, man, I mean, hell, even when you're making a recorded video, you're talking to yourself. But in this video, obviously, I'm talking to you guys, the ones that are on here listening. But yeah, shout out to you though, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, man. Subscribe. But other than that, that's about it. I will holler at y'all later.